Hey guys, it's Kevin. Today I just wanted to talk a little bit about ego and how that's been challenging for me, letting go of my ego and allowing more good to flow in. This is the ego's an identity that I've created. We design it for character protection. When you really think about it, in the old life, that's something that we needed as a defense in order to live that way. But it's not really needed now. And how do we get rid of that? Well, it's a work in progress. As character protection, I have to think, what am I protecting now? What is there that I need to protect? Okay, really, there's nothing. Because when you're expressing your truth, you're in your truth, there's nothing to worry about protecting. It's all out there. And it's hard for me to learn this, because I get in my old mindset thinking I'm all alone here trying to figure everything out. Well, and do I agree with having to protect an old identity? These are some of the things that came to mind that I'm reflecting on to try to help me better myself and the world. All starts inside. And I guess that's probably probably the way to look at things. It begins inside, and that's the only change that I really have to make. When I'm not out here fighting for my insecurities, it's easy to do. I see these things. Ego death is something that's very important. And just being honest in your self-expression. And when I try to focus on that, the ego fades. But it's slowly, it's not all at once, usually. And I have to keep on the lookout for the little things that draw me back into the ego. But if I'm expressing love, it doesn't leave a whole lot of room for the ego to come in and manipulate things. And, for me, I think it's just staying in my truth. Because I've always been a very truthful person, but I've learned to mask things in ways to cover myself in society from things that I didn't want to be subject to. really what it boils down to is, I was protecting a fake reality that I didn't even agree with. So when I focus on being true to myself, as I've always wanted to be, but not always allowed fully, it helps me to stay present and to be able to speak from that present point of awareness. This is not scripted. I'm learning to go with the flow, but to listen to the right frequencies and to tune out the ones that are not in my best interest. Because until you reach a certain point of clarity and develop a routine, which is what I'm working on, it all comes back to being truthful, And as much as I want to say that I'm truthful, I am to the best of my abilities, but these old patterns, they circle back around, they loop around, and they feed right into the new. So it's having that awareness and keeping focused on that awareness and not the old. It's where your mind is going. It's where your thoughts are. That's your life. So when I can focus on my truth and also be aware to the things that keep looping back around that I don't want in my life anymore, it helps me to see more clearly, and to learn where I need to go with things. Guys, there's so many things out there that you can focus your attention on. It's unreal. So I think it's a matter of, focusing that attention to the awareness that you desire and keeping it there, not bouncing around. We all need a break. I took time yesterday and watched a movie. It's a funny movie. Just that did a lot of good. That brought joy to my heart. Sometimes we need to do those things too. But then the focus needs to be there. So that's kind of all I had right now. I just wanted to share. Maybe help someone along their journey. I am an empath, if you can relate. Basically what that means is that I'm sensitive to other things. And that can be anything. It can be thoughts, frequency, outside influence. And when I don't learn to recognize that I'm being engulfed by an outside influence or one is trying to penetrate my focus, that can lead me to so many different places I don't want to be. So it's all about focus, awareness, attention. That's what was on my heart. I hope somebody can get some useful, I hope this can help someone in some way. I love you guys. Stay cool as the other side of the pillow. Have a great day.